All right, guys, we're finishing up the W2 iron 769 heads. In fact, this head is pretty much done. Now, some of the things was asked for me to do was to work on that plug boss. So you can see it was taken down quite a bit. Now, I did it, but I was thinking while I was doing it, as you're removing this lip, you may lose a touch of flow because the angle of that lip actually helps flow, right? So you're knocking that down a little bit. I think we're going to lose a little touch there. But I think we're going to gain some swirl because the way it's going to come out, it's going to be aimed in this direction, right? Well, it's also going to make the air around here is going to flow out a little bit easier. DV talked about that when he did the chambers in the Mission Impossible 318. He really took a lot out of that. That, I think, is a good move. This I'm not completely sold on. But I figured it was worth a try. It was kind of tall. Well, let's see what happened. Actually, we can take a good look at our liquid. Our liquid, I did spray a little extra because it's kind of just about done. I want to see how it handles a little extra liquid. And you can really see what's going on, right? We've got a nice patch here. Just a shadow here. A lot of liquid right around the plug boss. And splattered all the way onto the exhaust valve. We've actually got a puddle right here. A puddle of liquid. Okay. Let's take a look at the chamber. The bolt. Oh my goodness. The bore. Okay, you can see the bore. We got splatter all the way around. Looks like I got a touch of rust on my bore. I'm going to have to work on that. Okay, so the only thing that was done to the intake was I took that bump down in the chamber a little bit, and I just made my bowl ratio exactly where I wanted. It was a touch tight, and it was, 0.1% off from where I wanted it. So that really shouldn't make much of a difference. I did finishing the short side radius, which did change our airflows a lot. And that's kind of interesting. We can see we got a nice wide pattern across our intake, right? We got nice wide swath on the bowl. We go just about to the roof, not quite. Okay, we got a decent angle on that. Overall, I'm going to take it as a win. Okay, looking through the camera, it looks like our exhaust seat is really thin. It's quite thin. I probably just need to touch that because I decided by the time I did my radius, I wanted to give it a quick polish out to the seat. So that seat does need just to be touched. And that's all I did. The rest of it is the texture port. You can still see a couple spots where it has sand roll because the burr I was using doesn't actually touch that. But that's the same port as we've been testing, and I did put the texture back on it. Now the short side is all polished, at least the part you can see right now. Okay, so I wanted to test it with the tunnel ram, but I figured I might as well test it with that little boss removed, and brought the intake bowl up to 88.7%. The exhaust is up to 85.4%. Pretty close to my 86 and 88 numbers that I like to use. Okay, these are the flows you saw last time you saw this. Was it a winner or was it a loser? Well, this is what we got. We got plus, minus, minus. Didn't top out as well. It Topped out 317 before, topped out 313.9 this time. So we actually lost a little bit. And I think the reason it lost was that little bit of an angle from that bump. Now you guys can discuss that on the comments. That's fine. Now let's take a look at what happened with our swirl. Now what I thought would happen is the swirl would get better. Right? I wasn't really thrilled about how it drops dead right here. Let's see what happens. So we got minus, minus, plus, minus, plus, 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 minus, plus, plus, minus. It's a win because it doesn't completely die at 500. I don't want it really dead at 500. I'd like to have something. It doesn't have to be a huge amount, but something is better than nothing. Right? Okay, this is actually faster than I want right here, but I'm good with it. And we're probably going to run 600 plus lift. That'll work. Okay, so is it, if we get a little bit better swirl and a little bit better control on the liquid, is it worth losing a few CFM? It's a good question. Okay, this is the last one you saw. This is remove the boss and change the throat just a touch on the intake bowl. So what do we do on the pinch? You got plus equals plus, almost the same. I wouldn't expect them to change much. In fact, this one's actually moving less air at 600 than this one is, but yet the speeds are a little bit higher, which really doesn't make any sense, right? This is interesting here. Take a look at how we had nice air speeds on the roof just by taking that boss out and adding a little bit of throat radius. And I did finish the polish on the short side. A lot less air is going on the roof than before. And if we take a look at our short side, we've got more going around the short side now. Okay. Not bad as far as being even. Or in fact, we're better than we were as far as being even, but it's all fast. Should I work on that? I don't really think so. I think we're more than we need to be to make a pretty killer street piece that gets raced once in a while. Okay, let's take a quick look at the exhaust. Now the exhaust, I put texture back on the exhaust port, but I did have it polished right to the seat. So it's going to change a touch. I figured I would record it. Let's. Okay, these are the latest flows. Let me do the pluses and minuses for you guys. Okay, I think this is kind of interesting, so let's go over this. Textured with just polished near the seat, and the reason I did that is because the airspeeds around the seat are going to be high. So the burr that I used to use to go right up to the seat died a horrible death, so I don't have that one anymore. What I really need is a burr that has really, really tiny teeth to get the finish that I want, because I want it to be textured, but I really want it to be a fine texture. I don't have that right now. So this is what I decided to do. So we're going from these to these, right? We got plus, plus. We still got a little bit of noise, and this is a minus, 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 plus, 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 minus, plus, plus, plus. Now the pluses and minuses are not big pluses and minuses, but remember, this is textured now, whereas this one had like an hour's worth of polishing, which was a real pain. So it does have quite a few pluses. It's a win as far as I'm concerned. Now, put a pipe on it. What do we got? You got a minus, minus, plus equals. It's almost as good with the pipe. Excellent. Let's take a look at the airspeeds. Okay, according to the airspeeds, not spectacular. Okay, we were real even across the top here. We're off a touch here. Same number in the middle. as far as the middle, we gained a lot of speed right here. Now remember, I also changed that boss. Let's take a look at that in the chamber, and you'll see where I think that extra speed came from. Pause button got me again. I don't even know where I left off, guys. So let's just take a look at our exhaust air speeds. It's so aggravating. I can't even tell you. Sorry if I went over this already. Fairly even across, right? You got a minus equals minus. It's actually less than what we had here. Okay, middle. Middle is actually gained a lot of airspeed here. And I'm going to explain why. Hopefully I didn't do this already. So aggravating. Sorry guys if I did this already. Because this lump is less now, I believe it's getting more air around and towards the center here. Okay. Okay. And as far as being even from side to side, we gained a lot of airspeed there. So it's not as even as the top one. Really, you can see, right, 317, 341. Made a huge difference there. We also went down a lot right in the center. That's kind of interesting. All right, we got up, down, down. Yeah, the only thing that's good about our bottom is it's more even than it was here. Here we had a really fast spot on the bottom. In any case, the exhausts are really, really close. You know, they're going to flow about 220 at 0.625. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty street port. Okay. The valve size is 1.598 as of right now. Probably going to keep that. I just have to check every single bore. Make sure we have plenty of clearance between the intake and exhaust valve. Okay, last test is tunnel ram on this. Okay, guys. Hopefully that was paused. Tunnel ram. Damn it. Sorry, guys. It was a rough morning. All right, let's try that again. Tunnel ram swirls. Cylinder head with just clay, swirls. How'd we do? Well, tunnel ram is not a perfect match to the head. In fact, we have a decent sized lip on the one side of the entrance. So I wasn't expecting it to be a big winner. But we're not going to finish doing the epoxy work until we have a block we can use. We were not happy with the 340 block that Rob brought over. It's a little thin in a couple of spots. I don't think it's worth investing a nice big stroker kit and stuff on a block that might be a little frail. So that's just my opinion. Plus, 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 plus. We got a plus all the way to about 300. We have a slight loss. We have equals. We have minus, minus, minus everywhere else, right? Where we maxed out at 313.9, we only max out at 290 now. Now, I did not put carbs on it because I don't have the 2 carbs. We will do that when this is all finalized. And I also did not put a clay radius on top of it. I figured it's big enough, it should be fine, right? To get what we got to get. But you know what? Take a look at our swirl curve versus this swirl curve. Remember I said I wasn't thrilled about how this was around 300, 400? Take a look. Plus, plus. All right, we got minus, plus, plus, minus, plus, 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 plus. We're much better right in this area. In fact, at between 500 and 600, we're good. We're really good. Now, of course, that's going to change when the intake manifold is absolutely finalized and it has carbs on it. But it gives us an idea that we're in the right direction, right? So in any case, I just need to make the other head the exact same as this one, and we're good to go as far as the heads. That's quite a bit of work. But Coming along slow and painful, like marriage and kids and dogs. Ugh. My female dog making my hair fall out. She had to get in a fight today with another dog. What a mess. Have a good night, guys. Thanks.